Okay, so we are live now, and I'm going to share my screen here. Okay.
Yes. जियानिलो प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर हेनो प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा कहाँ सनातन कहाँ दास रघुनाथ पतित पावन कहाँ मोरा भाटा जुगा कहाँ कबीराज एक काले कोठा गेला गोरा नटराज पाषाणे कुटीब माथा अनले पशिब गौरंगा गुनेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो से सब संगीरा संगे जे कोइलो बिलास से संगा न पाइया कांडे नरो तमदास जे अनिल प्रेम धना करुणा प्रचुर हेनो प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Translation. He who brought the treasure of divine love, who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Advaita Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatt and Gopal Bhatt, and where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. So it says that this song is typically sung in the honor of the devotee who has passed away. So on the disappearance of the devotee, we sing this song usually. Narottam Das was not at the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all these devotees were there, right?
Yeah, is this after the second generation. But I think he met Jiva Goswami. Of course, he studied under Jiva Goswami, and but others I don't know. Rupa Goswami, did he meet Rupa Goswami? I think when he first came to Vrindavan, at that time Rupa Goswami had left or not. I have to check.
But certainly he didn't meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Correct.
Yeah,
Except in Kheturi when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, right, that time. The first
right.
Gaur Purnima.
Gaur Purnima festival that they made.
Yeah. But I don't think he met Rupa Goswami.
So basically he's hankering the association of devotees. I mean, it's so important. We were talking about enthusiasm yesterday. Alankar Prabhu had asked the question, right? We become enthusiastic seeing others' enthusiasm. It's like infectious. So, that's where Shraddha Sadhu Sangha, the Shraddha faith brings us into the association of Sadhu Sangha, and that's where our bhakti starts. So, we were talking also about envy towards devotees. So, instead of envying devotees, we should hanker for their association because that's how we will progress in bhakti. And of course, the humility is the key because we stay in the association of devotees by staying humble. If we are proud at all, or then we lose that association, we commit a Vaishnava aparadh, then Vaishnavas go out of our life, we are alone and we fall down.
I've heard that this.
Anything else?
We can't hear you, Mataji.
Oh, okay.
What did you say?
I don't know. Can-
Yeah, your voice is breaking for some reason.
Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Okay. So I've heard that this song was composed by Narottam Das Thakur in like in separation from Srinivas Acharya. Is that true?
Yeah, it looks like
Acharya Thakur, right?
Acharya Thakur is Srinivas Acharya, correct? But here
And
it says Advaita Acharya gone, so I don't know. It says,
in kksongs.org, right? It says Advaita Acharya. But I've heard,
but the
I can't.
translation says Srinivas Acharya,
Okay.
Acharya Thakur,
So
because
Srinivas Acharya in relation to, because Lochan Das Thakur was his guru, correct?
Loknath Goswami.
Loknath Goswami. Oh, sorry. Loknath Goswami. So who was Srinivas Acharya?
It studied with him in the Jiva Goswami. He was like a colleague.
Mm.
Uh, yeah.
Hmm. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? Is yesterday's class online?
Yeah, they were putting it on. Yeah, YouTube.
Okay. It's nice class. Anybody want to hear? Ada Gopinath Prabhu. Okay.
Yeah, that the verse they quoted yesterday was very nice, and from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have not memorized that. The anarthas in our heart. Kutina.
Kutinati Jivahansa, right?
Um, let's see, I'm pasting. Maybe there is a nice purport to it that they were referring to. I'm pasting.
19159. Okay. Read this. Any comments on? Yeah, we can read a little bit and see.
Mm.
निषिद्धाचार कुटिनाति जीव हिंसन लाभ पूजा पद प्रतिष्ठा आदि यत उपशाखागण. So this is like the weeds which destroy our bhakti. Some unnecessary creepers growing with bhakti creeper are the creeper of behavior unacceptable for those trying to attain perfection, diplomatic behavior, animal killing, mundane profiteering, labha. So nisiddhachar is not exhibit, not supposed to be exhibit. Achar, which is not proper. Kutinati, Kutinati is diplomacy. Jiva Hinsan is unnecessarily killing animals or the soul. Labh means profit. We are very eager for material profit. Puja, adoration achieved by satisfying mundane people. Pratishtha, becoming an important man in material calculations and so on. Yata, Upashakala. All these are so mundane profiteering, mundane adoration, mundane importance. All these are unwanted creepers. There is a certain pattern of behavior prescribed for those who are actually trying to become perfect. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we advise our students not to eat meat, not to gamble, not to engage in illicit sex, and not to indulge in intoxication. People who indulge in these activities can never become perfect. Therefore, these regulatory principles are for those interested in becoming perfect and going back to Godhead. Kutinapi or diplomatic behavior cannot satisfy the Atma, the soul. So, what is the diplomatic behavior? Example he gave.
Well, he said that first was about a guru who was advertising himself as a renounced or detached person, and he would not. Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, restaurant
He
owner.
would, yeah, he would not eat anything in front of others, whoever would offer him, and then everybody would think, oh, he's such a renounced person, and he would get a lot of donations. But then going back from the program, he would say, I'm very hungry, stop by some restaurant. So trying to cheat others, showing yourself as something that you're not.
Then he said, Patita
He
Pavanam,
was,
Kapata Pavan, right?
he also gave the example of a person who said to God that, you help me with my business and I will give you, um, whatever profits I get, right? So this person, he got profited from his business. He had a he had he had a home he was selling, right? Uh, so he thought that if I sell this home and whatever profit I get, I should give it to Krishna. So in order to not give it to Krishna, what he said was he sold his home at. He said my home is for $500 only, and but you have to buy the cat with the home, which is $5 million. So he wanted to give less. He wanted to cheat God also. That example came. But you cannot cheat Krishna.
Because Krishna knows everything about you, so you can't cheat him. You can cheat people of this world, but you can't cheat Krishna. And yeah, okay. Anything else? It cannot even satisfy the body or the mind. The culprit mind is always suspicious, therefore, our dealings should always be straightforward and approved by Vedic authorities. So, mind is always suspicious. He said, we have to keep a broom and
Shoes. Beat your mind with the broom in the morning, and before going to bed, beat your mind with the shoes.
yeah. He said, when you get up, beat your mind with the shoe. Today you have to do this, you have to chant nicely, you have to do this, you have to do all the spiritual activities, whatever, and beat your mind. And then at the night he said, oh, you didn't do it, beat it with a broom. Today you plan to do these things, you didn't do it, beat it with a broom. Yeah. So, okay. If we treat people diplomatically or duplicitously, our spiritual advancement is obstructed. Jiva Hinsan refers to killing animals.
So we were talking about this diplomatic behavior, right? Which some of our acharyas have also done in the past, Raghunath Das and Sanatan Goswami.
Correct.
It's not bad if it is enhancing your Krishna consciousness or other person's Krishna consciousness. So and not in a, like, if somebody makes a mistake, you should correct them in a diplomatic manner, not straightforward, harshly, that they are not hurt or they don't leave. It depends on your intentions.
Like it's just like mother may give a sugar coated medicine to the child because the child will accept the medicine. So you may have do something that they will get exposed to Krishna. That also can be there. I mean, sometimes we invite people for yoga and then give them prasadam or some books and do kirtan. Otherwise, they may not come. So I don't know. That's diplomatic behavior. But diplomacy, like nations do diplomacy, right? They speak in words and language. So, but yeah, if it's beneficial, then normally the way Prabhupada is saying here is kind of that it's like you're saying something, but in your heart you don't really mean it. That's the way he's put it here. But diplomacy is good also, like Raghunath Das Goswami, right? When he was arrested, or you can say who's this? Devki to save Devki.
Yeah, Vasudev.
Vasudeva, yeah, correct. He was saying so many things like that because to save Devki at that time. Jiva Hinsan refers to the killing of animals or to envy of other living entities. So Jiva Hinsa means also not just violence to animals, but also envy of other living entities. The killing of poor animals is undoubtedly due to envy of those animals. Which modern people may not say we have envy, but it's like my sense gratification is more important than your life. Basically, that's what it means. I can cause harm to you if my sense gratification is, if I need sense gratification, I can cause harm. So, in that sense, it's hinsa. For the human form is meant for the understanding of Krishna consciousness. Athada Brahma Jigyasa, for inquiring about the Supreme Brahman. In the human form, everyone has a chance to understand the Supreme Brahman. The so-called leaders of human society do not know the real aim of human life and are therefore busy with economic development. So everybody is trying to improve their material situation because they do not know the real aim of human life. That it is not to improve economic condition, but to go back home, back to God, to awaken love for Krishna. This is misleading. Every state and every society is busy trying to improve the quality of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Yeah, better and better comforts, better standard of life, like that. This human form of life is meant for more than these four principles. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are problems found in the animal kingdom. And the animals have solved these problems without difficulty. So, what is that verse? Common to both human beings and animals.
Aharanidra cha samanyamitat pashubidaranam
Karmo hitesham.
dharmo hitesha adhiko vishesha dharmena hina pashubi samanam.
Nice. So, animal life, Prabhupada says, they are eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and they are happy doing this. They have no stress about these things. They're getting their food, they are sleeping, they are having family and children. But these are common to human beings and animals. Ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. So, but there is one thing that is exception, that is our intelligence to inquire into the absolute truth. Why am I here? Why do I have to die? Why am I suffering? This is the question. Is there God? How can I establish my relationship with God? So these are the questions which animals cannot ask. So, and whatever you are going to get, you are going to get. Don't worry. Just as Prahlad Maharaj says, distress comes without your endeavoring for it. Or Narad Muni tells also that you are not trying for distress, but distress is coming. So happiness will also come. You try to, what is that verse? We say, you've gone up and down in so many species of life, but you didn't get one thing, and that is Krishna consciousness. What is the verse? How does it start? Yad brahmatam upariyada.
तस्यैव हेतु प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यदि भ्रमतामुपरि यतः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवादन्यथा सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररमः.
Nice. Yeah, you want to explain that?
Kovido is intelligent person. So those who are intelligent, they don't endeavor for those things for that. They should endeavor for that which is not obtained by going up and down from the Brahmalok to the Patal planet. So tallabhyate dukkhavadanyatha sukham. Happiness derived from sense enjoyment. It can be obtained automatically by one's own, based on one's own karma. It would come automatically. We don't have to over endeavor for that. Just like we don't endeavor for miseries, and they come automatically. Happiness would also come automatically. But we should focus on the goal of life, which is advancing in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, he says Brahmatam Upariyada means what? Brahmatam. I think you said that, right? Brahmatam Upariyada. Upar means
Going up and down, right?
up and down, correct. Yeah. You said, yeah, we are going up and down in this. So what you didn't get going up and down? As a pig, we were there. As a demigod, we were there. So we've gone through all species of life. But what you didn't get Krishna consciousness. We may have tried in the past, but we did not finish it. That's why we are in this body. So now you should finish it. So that's what basically. Now you should finish it. Otherwise, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatareshayanam. Of course, it may take lifetimes to finish, but we can finish it sooner than later. We try our best. This is misleading. Every state and every society is busy. And another verse is saying, Turnam, very quickly. Very quickly, very quickly. Because life is going to come to an end soon. So very quickly. Like that. You should Turnam. What's that verse? Turnam yateta.
नापतेत अनुमृत्यु यावन् निःसरस्य विषय खलु सर्वदा स्यात् लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभमिदं बहु सम्भवन्ति मनुष्यमार्थदमनित्यमपि धीर.
Turnam, very quickly. Yes. Because you've got this rare opportunity. Rare opportunity, that human birth. Hridehamadyam. What is that verse? Hridehamadyam. Sulabham, Sudurlabham.
लवं सुकल्पं गुरुपरमपदं मयानुकूलेन नभस्वतेरितं पुमान् भवाब्धिं न तरेत् स आत्मः.
So it says both Sulabham and Sudurlabham. Hridehamadyam, Sulabham, Sudurlabham. Sulabham, and how can it be like it's obtained? Sulabham and Sudurlabham are little opposites. So once you go into animal species, then you go up and you come to the human form of life. So it's obtained through. You don't have to do anything, and animals don't. They're not responsible for any karma or anything like that. So and naturally you come up. So in that context, I think it's saying Sulabham, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. That you naturally evolve, but it is very rare to get Sudurlabham because you have to go through so many species of life. before you come to the human form of life. So animals are making their progress up and up. Once you go into animal species, they don't have to do anything really to come to the human form of life by nature's arrangement, you know, because they are not doing any papa or punya like that. They are just acting on their instincts. So, but sudurlabham, because you got through so many species of life, so many years, you're transmigrating so very quickly. Of course, yesterday he was telling about Mukunda in Mahaprakash Leela, right? How many birds? Mahaprabhu told him
10 million.
10 million. And he was dancing in ecstasy.
We should never be depressed, or we should be patient, he was saying. And he says between enthusiasm and patience is faith. It has to be a, yeah, so you still be enthusiastic while being patient to receive mercy of Krishna. Have faith in the process.
Even if perfection has not come, and it's not, but have faith in the process and try, and it will come. So don't lose faith. Oh, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I'm not having goosebumps as it is described. Tears are not coming from my eyes. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. My hairs are not standing on end. It's okay. Your heart is like steel. So it has to become soft like butter. Then Krishna will come. Gopis were churning butter, he was saying, because Krishna will come and steal. And then they will go and complain to Yashoda. So what will Yashoda say?
Let me chastise Krishna.
Uh,
But they say, no, 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 don't do anything to him.
hmm.
We just, we just came here as an excuse to see Krishna and complain. Our complaint is just an excuse to come and talk about him. It's the Mangal Arti. It's the daily Mangal Arti.
Yeah, so it's a contradictory thing, right? The gopis were churning butter. In their heart, they were thinking, Krishna will come and steal. Then our butter is nice. And they were putting all their love and thinking of, like when we cook, this is the mood. Krishna is going to eat the offering. Let me cook nicely. So Krishna will come and steal the butter. Then they will go and complain, complain to Yashoda that Krishna is eating butter from our house by stealing. So Yashoda will say, "Yeah, let me chastise them." But then, why they are complaining if they are in their heart because they want to speak about Krishna or they want to hear or they want to see Krishna like that. So that's how it is. Like they will hide the butter, right, in some dark rooms. And Yashoda says, "Why don't you hide your butter? You know, if he's coming to steal." And then what would the gopis say? Or
We hide it, but Krishna and Balram, their body is so effulgent that it produces these so much, light, and also the ornaments that you put on them.
then Yashoda says, "Okay,
Krishna.
I'll remove the ornaments." Then they say, "No,
They
no, no,
say,
no."
no, 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 they look so beautiful, don't remove the
Don't
ornaments.
remove them. So it's like, yeah, they are giving the reason, and then yeah, but they are saying, "No, no, no, don't do it." So don't remove the ornaments. And even if you remove the ornaments, they are so effulgent that they will. And Yashoda would say, like, you put it high up, right,
Mhm.
that he will not
Mhm.
reach.
And then they say that, yeah, we've tried that, but then they make a human pyramid. They climb on top of each other or bring some furniture and climb on top of that, get to the ceiling.
And after all this, if Krishna doesn't get to the butter, then what will he do?
They will pinch the babies and pass stool and urine in the house because he becomes angry that you didn't keep the butter for me.
And while pinching the babies, he says, what?
Uh, Yeah, if your mother does not give me butter, then I'll bring like a mashal and I will burn down the house.
Yeah, and children have to suffer the karma of their parents.
Correct.
So if the parents are not giving, the children have to suffer, and that it pains the child. So, okay, like some funny pastimes of Krishna. Okay, so there are many. You were also narrating about the how that fly comes, and you want to say that pastime where Krishna is trying to steal butter, and the gopi catches him.
Whenever Krishna is caught, he makes up an excuse.
Hmm.
Yeah, one time one gopi caught Krishna red-handed, and she said, "I'll take you to Yashoda." She never believes us, but I'll take you. And Krishna said, "Oh, I thought this was my house. Like I did not know, it was your house. I was trying to save the butter in my house, and you thought I was eating it. Actually, there was a lot of ants who were eating the butter. I was trying to stop the ants from eating the butter, but then a fly came and it started buzzing around my nose, and I wanted to push it away. And there was some butter in my hand, and it was irritating my nose, so I sneezed, and I put my hand around the mouth, and some of the butter went into my mouth. So that's how you see the butter in my mouth, but I was actually trying to save the butter from the ants.
Yeah, I think when Krishna said, "I do this in," I thought this was my house. Then Gopi said, "So do you do like this in your house? Do you break the pots and then, isn't it?"
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then Krishna said, "Oh yeah, there were some ants." And
And he comes up with excuse. He says, "This is, I think Kali Yuga has started. You try to help someone, and they accuse you."
it's funny. Okay, so many pastimes. I think there was a toy calf, right? The calf one time.
Yeah, yeah. So one time a gopi caught him, and Krishna had the hand inside the butter pot, and Gopi said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I am searching for my calf. My calf jumped inside this butter pot." And Gopi was like, "What? How can your calf jump inside the butter pot?" And then Krishna took out a toy calf and said, "Look, I found my calf." And he ran away. And one time a gopi caught him right while he was running away and said, "I will tie you to the pillar." So she started tying Krishna, but she was not able to tie, like, Yashoda was not able to tie Krishna. So Krishna said, "Oh, let me show you how to tie me." And then quickly, Krishna tied the gopi to the pillar and ran away. Like once the gopi gave him the rope and everything, he tied the gopi to the pillar and ran away.
And then one time Yashoda caught Krishna with his hand right in the butter, and so he was caught red-handed.
Mhm. Yeah, he was saying that you put all these bangles on me. They're making my hand very hot. So I put my hand in the butter to cool myself. I was getting blisters.
Yeah, rubies and
And then,
diamonds, that whatever you put, create a
yeah.
lot of heat. Yeah.
And Yashoda's anger turned into, she was saying, "Oh, my child, he has his hand is like blistered. Let me see." And she started to love Krishna. She forgot about Krishna stealing butter. And also one time one gopi caught Krishna and she said, "I'll take you to your mother," right? So she caught Krishna's hand and she was taking him to Yashoda, and she said, "Oh, Yashoda, now I brought your child, and you see I caught him red-handed. You will never believe our words." So then Yashoda was confused. "Oh, what are you saying, Gopi?" And because when the Gopi looked down, she saw her own child. It was not Krishna; it was her own child, and Gopi was confused because I brought Krishna, and how come this Krishna has turned into my boy? And then she was confused, so she went back. And then, as she was going back, Krishna said, he spoke that next time you take me to my mother, This time I have become your son, next time I'll become your husband. Uh, if you again take me to mother to complain.
Nice. And then there is the jeweled pillar pastime, right? Krishna was seeing his own
Yeah,
reflection.
you can say that.
Yeah, so one time Yashoda came and actually Krishna was stealing butter and there was a jeweled pillar in Nanda Maharaj's house. So Krishna saw his own reflection. So he thought there is some other boy like him who is also trying to steal butter. So he started talking to this boy and or he's witnessing, not trying to steal, but he's witnessing Krishna stealing butter. So then he's telling this boy his own reflection. He's talking to his own reflection. He says, "Hey, don't tell my mother, that I'm stealing butter. Because if you don't tell, I will also give you some of this butter. So please don't." And meanwhile, Yashoda comes inside and she sees Krishna with the butter. So then Krishna reverses his pitch and he says, Mama, I was not trying to steal butter. It was this boy in showing his swing. He was trying to steal butter, and I told him that, don't steal this butter. My mother has made it with so much effort. Don't waste it like that. And he would not listen, and he made all this mess. And I was just trying to clean up the mess, something like that. So Yashoda was again like amused by Krishna's words, and then she again showed affection to Krishna. So, how clever Krishna is. She marvels at how clever my child is. So,
That's one of the qualities of Krishna. He's clever
it's clever. He can
in
turn.
matter of devotion.
Like
Mm.
Nimai Pandit he would give an argument, then he would oppose that argument, and then everybody would think, yes, this is so wonderful. Then he would re-establish the original point, and then everybody would say, it's so brilliant, and then he would refute it. So, Krishna can do anything. Like he's so intelligent, so he can bewilder anybody. And everybody was thinking, this person, this Nimai, if only he becomes a devotee, it's so nice. Because before he was like a logician, he was teaching, but then they were thinking he's so intelligent and so charming. Of course, he was so beautiful. Only if he became a devotee, it'll be so nice. So that's and he would harass. Nimai would harass all the devotees with logic and argument, and whenever they would see Nimai, they would go to the other side. If he was coming on one side, then they would go to the other side to avoid him. But internally, they were admiring him. They wanted him to just take up devotional service. So Krishna is so he can use any argument and defeat. Okay, so and whatever intelligence we have philosophically is also coming from Krishna. Okay, this human form of life is meant for more than these four animal principles. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are problems found in the animal kingdom, and the animal have solved these problems without difficulty. Why should human society be so busy trying to solve these problems? The difficulty is that people are not educated to understand the simple philosophy. They think that advancement of civilization means increasing sense gratification. There are many religious propagandists who do not know how the ultimate problems of life can be solved. And they also try to educate people in a form of sense gratification. So there is four defects of conditioned soul. One is that he makes mistakes. First, he has imperfect senses. Then that's why he is illusioned.
Mhm.
And then he commits mistakes.
And he cheats.
And then he cheats others. So basically, they don't know what is the goal of life. Prabhupada is saying, who do not know. But they are trying to give some solution that this is how you should do, this is what you should do. So many people don't know the essence of the Vedas, which is to know Krishna and so many things. There are karma kandis and That's why Madhvendra Puri says, yes, the karma kandis may brand me as being misled or this or that, but I don't care. So, because I know Govinda is the one, I will not budge an inch. And another verse he says, for me it is enough. Obeisances to you, Sandhya Vandanam, and all these rituals. I don't need to do all these rituals, the bath, and well, that doesn't mean you don't take bath, but he says all these rituals are of not much importance. Because I worship Govinda, who is the deliverer of all sins, and for me that is enough. So like that he says also. There are two verses like that. So unfortunately, people do not know that there is life after death. Therefore, mundane people waste their time amassing material profit, which has to be left behind at the time of death. So they try to accumulate more and more money and spend more and more time in this, but it's all left behind. Such profit has no eternal benefit. Because if money were to save you, then that would be acceptable, but money cannot save you. Similarly, adoration by mundane people is valueless. Krishna can save you because Krishna can change your karma, but money can't. Money can change if you use it in Krishna's service for devotional service. That's good. Similarly, adoration by mundane people is valueless because after death one has to accept another body. Material adoration and titles are decorations that cannot be carried over to the next body. All your name and fame you can't take to your with your next life. Your next life. In the next life, everything is forgotten. So we forget. So why try for anything that will is temporary, basically. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasham devan deva jujuyanti yad bhaktama yanti mamavi. Krishna is criticizing demigod worship. He's saying, yeah, they are worshipping the demigods, but they're alpamedasham. They are less intelligent because the fruits that you get are temporary and limited. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods. Antavat tu phalam tesham. So material adoration titles are decorations that cannot be carried over to the next body. In this next life, everything is forgotten. Just like our last life, we don't remember who we were, what my family was, who were my friends. Everything is gone. Which nationality I belong to. Everything we've forgotten. So it's only a matter of time you forget about this life. That's why it's a dream. Because in dream, you dream at night and then you forget the dream. Maybe you remember something from the dream, but as days go by, then it's also gone. Yeah. Some dreams are vivid, but this is also like a dream. It will be forgotten. And especially identification with the body is like a dream. I belong to this nationality and this is my family. This is a dream. These are my people and this is my nation, my nationality people. So all these obstructions. So hinsa also means not preaching. Yeah, he was saying like that. Hinsa means not preaching. Or in the 13th chapter, Prabhupada writes that if you don't preach Krishna consciousness, you are committing violence. Why?
Because you're saving others from suffering.
You are allowing others to suffer, even though you have the vaccine, but you are not giving the vaccine. Like there is COVID, right, and others are suffering. And if I have COVID vaccine and I don't give it to others, then of course it's debatable this COVID vaccine is good or bad. Many people say it's bad. So,
He also said that Prabhupada told one disciple of his that if you don't share the knowledge that you have gained, then you will become envious of
correct.
others.
Yeah. And Vrindavan Prabhu was saying when he came here that if you don't share means you don't want Krishna to be glorified, means you want yourself to be glorified. So that is also envy of Krishna.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that it's like a leaking pot, the knowledge that if we don't share it, then it leaks away.
Correct. Yeah. And then he gave a nice pastime about the leaking pot. Right. Right.
Radha.
Okay. So, yeah. And we are not able to assimilate the knowledge because we have a leaky heart. So the knowledge is coming, but it is leaking out. So it has to be sealed. He was saying that we have to seal the heart, the knowledge. And it should go from the head to the heart. The knowledge should go from head to the heart. So, which we say, yeah, we have to realize. Uh, they say, what is that? Realization means to be able to practically apply the knowledge that you have received in your life. Then that's realization. Okay. All these obstructions have been described in this verse as unwanted creepers. They are simply obstacles. They are simply present obstacles for the real creeper, the Bhakti Lata. One should be very careful to avoid all these unwanted things. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like Bhakti creeper. They appear to be of the same size and the same species when they are packed together with the Bhakti creeper. So, any devotional service, what is the motivation? It looks like same. What example he gave? Of something that looked very similar but it was different. The motive was some example that was given. That breaking into the window.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Maybe you can
Correct.
share that.
Breaking somebody's window in the middle of the night. If somebody does that, what would you do? Says, you'll call 911 because this person is trying to get into the house. But if it is like a fireman who is trying to get into the house and the house is on fire to save everyone, then your response is different. So it depends. So he was talking about, I think, the spirit of the activity, niyamagraha, right?
Correct. Yeah, the action is the same. Both are breaking into the, but the motive is different. Yeah. So it's not so much about your action, it's the motive behind the action. That Krishna, we say Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So why you're doing what you're doing. So we may be doing devotional service, but what is the motive? The motive should be to please Krishna, to purify myself. But if the internal motive is different, like I want to get name and fame and like that, then it looks like it's bhakti, but indirectly I'm seeking glorification for myself through the process of bhakti. Like one time in Radha Gopinath temple, they were doing Bhakti Shastri, right? Exam.
Mhm.
What would say that?
Yeah, so Radhanath Maharaj came to give everybody blessings, and he quoted one verse from his pastime of Romaharshan Sutta and Balramji, right? So, which Balramji is first glorifying Romaharshan Sutta, whose disciple is this Romaharshan. Uh, he has he has learned all these scriptures by heart and he knows it all, but he has no good qualities. He's proud of his knowledge. So um, right, he is quoting this verse of he's not humble, so he's not qualified to sit on the Vyasasan. So Radhanath Maharaj was saying that don't think that your certificate of Bhakti Shastri, you have become, you should not develop pride, basically.
Yeah, and he
uh,
said, above your Bhakti Shastri certificate, which you'll put on the wall, put this verse above the Bhakti
mhm.
Shastri. Like that. So that you remember that, you don't become proud that, oh, I've done this Bhakti Shastri and I'm like, okay. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like the bhakti creeper. They appear to be of the same size and the same species when they're packed together with the bhakti creeper. But in spite of this, the creepers are called upashakha. And it looks exactly the same. And so we may think, yes, I'm growing in bhakti, but actually it's not. Because if you're growing in bhakti, then what happens? Then your all this things should come. Of course, that is on bhav platform, but to some degree, shanti, ravyartha kalatvam, virakti, manashunyata, asha bandha samutkantha, namagane sadaruchi. Of course, this is for bhava ankura jane. This is for one who's in whose heart bhav or emotional attachment for the Supreme Lord is manifesting. But still, we can, at some point, we can also analyze this as our progress in bhakti. We may not be at that level, nama gane sadaruchi, that always I'm feeling great taste in chanting the holy name all the time. So, but yeah, this is a measure. So, bhav is given by Krishna. He was saying it's only Krishna's mercy. And in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Madhurya Kadambini, has described all the stages of Nishtha Bhakti, Tarangarangini, Anishtita Bhakti, and all these things he has described. And every emotion, every aspect of somebody's bhakti, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has analyzed and said, okay, where you are at, we can find where we are on this. So we should read, I don't know, Madhurya Kadambini saying. Nice.
Amazon, you can search.
Okay, we will see later. It's almost 8:15. They appear to be of the same size when they are packed together with Bhakti creeper, but in spite of these, the creepers are called Upashakha. A pure devotee can distinguish between the Bhakti creeper and mundane creeper, and he is very alert to distinguish them and keep them separate. So, if you chant Hare Krishna also, either the devotees will tell us, Guru will tell us, or Krishna in the heart as Chaitya Guru will tell us. So, and if we are honest and introspective, then we will know the difference. We will know what, because outside people sometimes cannot detect why we are doing what we are doing. But we can say, did I do that activity to please Krishna? In hindsight also you can say, was my motive when I was singing that kirtan? Was I thinking of pleasing Krishna, or was I thinking of how others are perceiving me? So we can analyze and see. Was I remembering Krishna when I was singing Gaurarati? Was I remembering Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Or not? So
So the next verse, if you go on to the next verse, yeah, this verse says that if one does not distinguish between the bhakti creeper and other creepers, the sprinkling of water is misused because the other creepers are nourished while the bhakti creeper is curtailed. So sprinkling of water means, this devotional service, right? Shravanam Kirtanam. So if you're not addressing these weeds, then a sprinkling of water, doing devotional service is actually nourishing these weeds and further curtailing the bhakti kripa.
you are pouring water, but it is going to the weeds, not to your bhakti kripa. Yeah, so of course we don't start pure like that. I mean, it's we come with a big baggage. But this chanting Hare Krishna. So Prabhu says, if one chants the Hare Krishna mantra while committing offenses, these unwanted creepers will grow. One should not take advantage of chanting Hare Krishna for some material profit. Means to get some name, fame, or some kind of sense gratification from chanting. So that should not be done for some material profit. Okay. Nisiddhachar kutinadi jiva hinsan lava puja pratishtha adi yata upashaka gana. I think we should memorize this verse. This is a nice verse. The previous verse. Nisiddhichar kutinadi jiva hinsan la puja pratishtha yadi yata upashaka gana. So what is the upashaka weeds? Tomorrow we
So,
can.
this next verse that Mataji was mentioning, we still have to continue the process, right? So it almost seems like if we keep doing the process, we will only nurture the weeds. But really, I mean, we cannot stop.
No, you have to change your motive in doing the process. That's basically what it means. That, yeah, means it's the same
Everything
activity, it's
ever
the same process
shouldn't.
externally. Yeah, but you have to change internally your consciousness. That's the only thing.
So basically, what I said is that, the namaprad where we maintain attachments,
Uh-huh.
material attachments while still chanting, it's an aparad.
Correct.
But the thing is that we just keep praying that it goes away, but we don't stop chanting at the same time.
Correct. Yeah.
But some things like, Vaishnava Prad, having envy towards devotees. Hmm. If you maintain that, keep on doing that, that will be, curtailing your bhakti kripa. At one time, you may stop chanting also.
Yeah, and only by Krishna's grace only. I mean, the heart is like that. I mean, those who are pure, for them it's different. But when we are conditioned and like that, then envy is automatically there in the heart. Like you were saying, yeah, somebody's come after me, and then they are doing better than me in Krishna consciousness. They are getting more popularity, right? He just started 5 years back, and I've been 20 years in the movement, and he just started 5 years back. He's getting more popularity, and he's like that. Then you may become envious person. Or Guru Maharaj is showing more mercy to this, so he may need it. We may say he may need it, or we don't say, oh, he's doing like I think Nitai Sivani Mataji was also saying, if somebody is getting more mercy, that means he's doing such nice service.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the gopis said about Radharani, that she must have done very nice bhakti that Krishna left with her, leaving all of us.
Correct. So yeah, so we should think like that. Yeah, he's getting, and we should be happy, right? Actually, instead of being envious, we should, oh, he's becoming so dear to Krishna.
Yeah, and it's my fortunate position to be,
Yes,
in
yes.
his association, so I can also learn from this devotee.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Right. Okay, so what's the time? It's 8. Okay, we can read this verse. It's not big. It's big, okay. The unwanted creepers have been described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He states that if one hears and chants without trying to give up offenses, one becomes materially attached to sense gratification. So the result of chanting with offenses is that you become attached to sense gratification. If you don't want to give up offenses, one may also desire freedom from material bondage, like the Mayavadis, means impersonal, that merging. Or one may become attached to yoga siddhis and desire wonderful yogic powers. If one is attached to wonderful material activities, one is called siddhi lobi, greedy for material perfection. One may also be victimized by diplomatic or crooked behavior, or one may associate with women for illicit sex. One may make a show of devotional service like the Prakrita Sahajiyas, or one may try to support his philosophy by joining some caste or identifying himself with certain dynasty. He was also saying, we were discussing in the car coming back, but that Sahajiyas are found only in, generally he was saying that
Gaudiya Sampradaya.
Gaudiya Sampradayas, they have Aul Baul,
Sakhi Beki.
Sakhi Peki, and so many Appa Sampradayas have come because they think, oh, Krishna is my, oh, Radhe Radhe, Krishna is my friend, Krishna is my lover, and I'm a Gopi, and then Gopi Bhav Club was there and all that. He was saying that. that we take it very cheaply. And one may make a show of devotional service like Prakrita Sahajas, or one may try to support his philosophy by. And he was saying in South India it is more like awe and reverence. So it is not, you don't see this kind of sahajas there, but in upper sampradayas you find, because we have higher rasas. Or one may try to support his philosophy by joining some caste or identifying himself with a certain dynasty, claiming a monopoly on spiritual advancement. That only we are the ones we know how to make spiritual advancement. Thus, with the support of family tradition, one may become a pseudo guru or so called spiritual master. One may become attached to four sinful activities: illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. Or one may consider a Vaishnava to belong to a mundane caste or creed. One may think this is Hindu Vaishnava and this is European Vaishnava. European Vaishnavas are not allowed to enter the temples. In other words, one may consider Vaishnavas in terms of birth, thinking one Brahmana Vaishnava, another Shudra, another Malecha Vaishnava, and so on. One may also try to carry out professional business by means of chanting Hare Krishna mantra or reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Or one may try to increase his monetary strength by illegal means. Also, one may become cheap Vaishnava by trying to chant in a secluded place for material adoration. Or one may desire mundane reputation by making compromises with non devotees concerning one's philosophy or spiritual life, maybe to get followers or something like that. Or one may become a supporter of a hereditary caste system. All these are pitfalls of personal sense gratification. Just to cheat some innocent people, one may make a show of advanced spiritual life and becomes known as Sadhu, Mahatma, or religious person. All this means that the so-called devotee has been victimized by all these unwanted creepers, and that the real creeper, the Bhakti Lata, has been stunted. So another thing, these devotees, they have been like 35 years he has been practicing. Still he says that, oh, I'm still in the basement and we have to go up to Krishna Prem. I'm still not. And so they are thinking that, yeah, we are not so qualified, although they have done nice devotional service for so many years. So that is the mood also that I'm.
Yeah, so that's प्रेम मेरा स्वभाव यहाँ प्रेम मेरा समन सही माने कृष्ण मोरे नाही प्रेम गंध. Whenever there is a relationship of love of Godhead, natural symptom is that devotee does not think himself a devotee. Instead, he always thinks he doesn't even have a drop of love for Krishna. More you advance, more humble you become. Right? More you know Krishna, more you know how much you don't know about Krishna. How far you are, and you see a lot of anarthas in you. More you advance.
So yeah, like Madhavendra Puri was also lamenting, oh Mathura Nath, I was not able to do much. I'm not able to see you like that. Where have you gone? Of course, that was mood of separation also. But yeah, even little bit. I mean, they have done so much, but they think, yeah, I could not do much for Krishna like that. And here somebody does little, and they think, I've done a lot for Krishna. So we should never think we have done enough. That's another thing. And yeah, it's not like artificially thinking, they actually feel like that. So in their heart. Like he was saying that, yeah, he was saying that don't eat onion garlic and something like that in the class, and then at the home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yesterday
And
also he said, yeah, yesterday also he was saying something, oh, that is for the public, but something like that he was saying, Damodar, that I'm feeling humble, but actually, yeah, that's just to speak something he was saying.
uh-huh. Yeah. Like you believed what I was saying. I was just saying out of humility. Like, yeah. Like one devotee was saying, "I'm very fallen and I have so many anarthas." There was one other devotee was saying, "Oh, Prabhuji, I thought you were advanced, but I'm saying I was just saying for the sake of saying."
You don't really feel it like that, but yeah. And sometimes with humility also you want to show that, oh, I'm so humble. others will think, yeah, I'm very advanced. So that's also the underlying, but actually you're not feeling like that at heart, but you're just saying like that too. Because amanitvam, adambitvam, this is like a sign of spiritual advancement. So we may be proud that we are humble. That it's Mahatma Prabhu had a quote like that. Humility means sometimes you can make a show of being humble, but you are not really like humble at heart. But you can make a show like that. So then it becomes more like showing than to actually being humble. So I don't know. It was a long time back. It was on his website. You are more concerned with looking humble than actually being humble. He said like, okay, it's 8:30, and of course we have to practice. I'm not saying we should, even if like we have to practice humility, cultivate, but at the same time it should not be like a show that. Okay. Anything else anybody like to say? Okay, then thank you very much for your association today, and always Hare Krishna.